Taurus, I need to tell you something that will hurt a lot, but you need to hear it because your life depends on it. There's a betrayal happening right under your nose. A betrayal so subtle, so well disguised that you haven't even realized you've been a victim for years. And worst of all, the person betraying you is the last person you'd suspect. It's someone you trust blindly, someone who should protect you, value you, honor you, someone who promised to always be by your side. This person knows you better than anyone else. They know exactly what your weaknesses are, your deepest fears, your most basic needs, and they're using this knowledge against you. They're manipulating you so subtly that you don't even notice. They're convincing you to accept crumbs when you deserve feasts. They're making you believe you're not good enough, strong enough, worthy enough. Do you feel that tightness in your chest right now? That anguish growing within you as you read these words? This is your body recognizing the truth your mind has been trying to ignore. The betrayal I'm about to reveal will explain why you've been feeling so tired lately, why your nights of sleep no longer restore you, why, even when you've achieved your goals, you feel a persistent emptiness that nothing can fill. The person who is cheating on you, Taurus, is you. Are you listening to me? You are betraying yourself every day. With every decision you make, thinking of others first. Every time you diminish your dreams so as not to upset anyone. Every time you accept less than you deserve to maintain the peace. You've become your own enemy, your own saboteur. And you didn't even realize it when it started. This betrayal is the most painful of all because you can't run away from it. You can't cut contact. You can't block them on social media. The betrayer lives inside your head. He speaks with your voice. He uses your own insecurities as weapons against you. And he knows all your blind spots, all the ways he convinces you that you don't deserve more than you're getting. Do you remember when you were a child and believed you could be anything? When your eyes would shine as you spoke of your dreams? When you didn't need anyone's approval to feel valuable? That version of you still exists, Taurus. It's trapped inside, suffocated by years of self-betrayal, screaming to be freed, but constantly silenced by the voice that convinced you that dreaming big is dangerous, that trusting yourself is risky, that you need to settle for what is safe and practical. The betrayal began so slowly you didn't even notice. A dream abandoned here, a suppressed opinion there, an ignored need, a hidden talent. Small concessions that seemed insignificant at the time, but that accumulated until they created a life that had nothing to do with who you truly are. You traded pieces of your soul for approval, for security, for peace, until very little of the real you remained. And now you're living the life of a stranger, wearing a mask so convincing that you've forgotten you're in disguise, playing a role so well that the audience and even you believe you're real. But deep down, in the silence of the early morning, when your defenses are down, you feel the truth hammering at your chest. This isn't your life. You're not this complacent, limited person who settles for scraps. For Tauruses born between April 20th and April 30th, betrayal manifests primarily in the professional arena. You've convinced yourself that you must be realistic and practical, but in reality, you're simply afraid to invest in your unique talents. For those born between May 1st and 10th, self-betrayal occurs primarily in relationships. You diminish yourself so as not to be too much for the other person, but you're only wasting your capacity for authentic love. And for those born between May 11th and 20th, betrayal lies in the way you've hidden your creativity and sensitivity to appear more normal and acceptable. But in every case, the pattern is the same. You traded your authenticity for acceptance. You sold your soul for a little approval, and now you're paying the price for that betrayal every day in the form of a life that doesn't belong to you, dreams you've abandoned, and a constant feeling that something important is missing. Do you want to know the most painful proof of this betrayal? It's what happens when someone genuinely compliments you, when they recognize a talent you have, a special quality you possess. Instead of feeling good, you feel uncomfortable. Your mind immediately starts to minimize the compliment, finding reasons why the person is wrong, because accepting that you truly are special, talented, and deserving would mean admitting that you've wasted those gifts. And that hurts immensely, so you prefer to continue believing that you're ordinary, that you're nothing special, that you should settle for less. Because it's easier to live a small life than to face the responsibility that comes with recognizing your own power. It's safer to hide behind excuses than to risk failure by trying to be great. But Taurus, as you read this, something is shifting within you. The truth is causing cracks in the armor of denial you've built over the years. You're beginning to feel the anger, the pain, the outrage, and that's good. It's necessary because you can't heal a wound you don't acknowledge exists. The betrayal you committed against yourself was fueled by a fundamental lie, the lie that you're not good enough as you are, that you need to adapt, mold, and diminish yourself to be accepted and loved. But this lie didn't come from you. It was planted in your mind by people who were afraid of your brilliance, who felt threatened by your potential, who needed you to be small so they could feel great. Teachers who told you to be more realistic, family members who laughed at your dreams, friends who made you feel guilty for wanting more from life, partners who convinced you were asking for too much. Each of these people planted a seed of doubt in your mind, and you, wanting to be loved and accepted, watered those seeds until they became a forest of self-imposed limitations. But here's the truth that will set you free. Those people were wrong, completely, utterly wrong. You don't have to be lesser to fit in with someone else's life. You don't have to hide your light so as not to overshadow anyone. You don't have to settle for crumbs because someone decided you don't deserve the feast. What you deserve is a life that fully honors who you are, relationships that celebrate your uniqueness instead of trying to mold it, work that utilizes your unique talents instead of ignoring them, experiences that expand your soul instead of contracting it, and most importantly, you deserve a loving and respectful relationship with yourself. The betrayal you committed against your own soul created a deep wound that has been bleeding silently for years. This wound manifests as depression for no apparent reason, as constant anxiety, as a feeling of living on autopilot, as sleepless nights questioning whether this is really what you want from life, as mornings where you have to force yourself out of bed because you no longer feel any real purpose in what you do. But wounds, no matter how deep, can be healed, and healing for this particular betrayal begins with a very simple yet extraordinarily powerful word: forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself for the betrayal you committed against yourself. You need to understand that you did the best you could with the knowledge and courage you had at the time, that the choices you made were attempts to survive, to protect yourself, to find love and acceptance the only way you knew how. You didn't betray yourself out of malice or weakness. You betrayed yourself out of fear. Fear of not being accepted, fear of failing, fear of being alone, fear of discovering that maybe you weren't as special as you secretly hoped. And these fears are understandable. They're human. They don't make you a bad person. They make you a person who was hurt and did the best you could to deal with that pain. But now you know the truth. And with that truth comes a new responsibility to stop betraying yourself from now on. Start making decisions that honor your true essence, even when it's uncomfortable. Choose your dreams over your limitations. Choose your truth over your comforting lies. This won't be easy, Taurus. It will require courage. It will require disappointing some people who have grown accustomed to the diminished version of you. It will require facing the fears that have controlled your choices for so long. But the alternative is to continue betraying yourself every day until you die without ever having truly lived. And you deserve more. You deserve so much more. You deserve a life that makes your heart race with excitement instead of sinking with hopelessness. You deserve relationships that see and celebrate your true essence. You deserve work that feels like an expression of your soul instead of a prison for your spirit. You deserve to wake up every day knowing you're living as your true self. The first thing you need to do to stop cheating on yourself is recognize when you're doing it. Pay attention to the moments when you diminish yourself, hide, and accept less than you deserve. These moments will happen. They've been programmed into your system for years. But now you can identify them and make a different choice. When someone asks your opinion on something important and you feel like giving a safe answer instead of your truth, stop, breathe, and choose the truth. When an opportunity arises that excites you but seems too risky, stop. Question whether the risk is real or just your fear masquerading as prudence. When you catch yourself downplaying your qualities or talents to avoid appearing arrogant, stop and allow yourself to recognize and express your own greatness. Every time you choose authenticity over self-betrayal, you're healing the wound you've created in your soul. You're rebuilding your self-confidence. You're proving to your subconscious that you're worthy of love and respect, starting with your own. For Tauruses who have been stuck in relationships where they have to diminish themselves to keep the peace, it's time to have difficult conversations, to establish healthy boundaries, to demand the respect you deserve. And if the other person can't honor who you truly are, then perhaps it's time to question whether they truly love you or just the controllable version you've been playing. For those who have wasted their talents in jobs that don't value them, it's time to start exploring options that honor your unique skills. This doesn't mean you have to quit tomorrow. It means you need to stop accepting that your professional life is just about survival and start considering it as a form of expression and contribution. For Tauruses who have been hiding their creativity, sensitivity, or other practical aspects of their personality, it's time to start exploring them again. Even if it's just 15 minutes a day, dedicate time to reconnecting with the parts of yourself that have been silenced. Write, draw, dance, sing, dream. Do whatever it takes to awaken the soul that has been dormant. The truth about the betrayal you committed against yourself is shocking, yes, but it's also liberating, because now you know. You can no longer pretend you don't know. You can no longer hide behind unconscious excuses. The responsibility is in your hands, and that's both terrifying and empowering. You have a choice to make now, Taurus. You can close this video, go back to your usual life, and continue betraying yourself every day. You can pretend these words didn't touch anything real, that they didn't awaken anything dormant within you. You can maintain the false peace you've built at the cost of your own soul. Or you might decide that enough is enough. That you've suffered enough at the hands of your worst enemy, yourself. That you've wasted too much time living a life that isn't yours. That you've wasted too much energy trying to be someone you were never meant to be. If you choose the second option, and I deeply hope you do, know that it won't be easy at first. You'll feel guilty for prioritizing your needs. You'll feel selfish for pursuing your dreams. You'll feel scared to leave the comfort zone you know so well. These feelings are normal. They're part of the detox process from years of self-betrayal. But on the other side of this initial discomfort, a life awaits you that you can barely imagine right now. A life where you wake up every day excited about the possibilities. Where you look in the mirror and like the person you see. Where you no longer need to pretend, hide, diminish, or adapt to be loved. Where you are loved exactly as you are, especially by yourself. The betrayal you've committed against your own soul may have lasted years, but it can be stopped today, now, this very moment. You don't have to wait for a Monday, the first of the month, or a new year. You can decide now that you will no longer betray yourself. That you will begin to honor who you truly are, even if it means disappointing some people who have grown accustomed to the false version of you. And when you make that choice, when you truly decide to stop cheating on yourself, the universe will conspire to support you. Opportunities will arise that honor your unique talents. People will appear who celebrate your authenticity. Situations will align to show you that you were always worthy of what you were denying yourself. Taurus, You were created to live an extraordinary life, to use your unique gifts in ways that contribute to the world, to experience love, success, fulfillment, and joy on levels you never imagined possible. But this can only happen when you stop betraying the most important person in your life, yourself. The shocking truth behind hidden betrayal is that you've been both the victim and the perpetrator, but this also means you have the power to stop this betrayal immediately. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need to wait for the circumstances to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers before you begin. You only need one thing: the courage to start honoring who you truly are. And that courage already exists within you. It always has. It's just waiting for you to stop betraying it and start using it. The first step is the hardest, but also the most powerful: deciding that you deserve a life that fully honors who you are. Deciding that you will no longer accept crumbs when you deserve feasts. Deciding that your authenticity is more important than anyone else's approval, including the version of you that's afraid to shine. From the moment you make this decision, everything changes. Not immediately, not magically, but inevitably. Because when you stop betraying yourself, you stop sabotaging your own opportunities for happiness. When you start honoring yourself, you attract experiences that also honor you. When you decide you deserve more begins to appear in your life. The hidden betrayal that has controlled your life for so long can finally come to an end, today, now, with a simple decision to no longer accept less than you deserve, to no longer dim your light to comfort others' insecurities, to no longer betray the most important person in your life, yourself. If this message has awakened something within you, anger, pain, hope, determination, don't ignore that feeling. It's your soul reacting to the recognition of truth. Share in the comments how you've been cheating on yourself and what the first step will be to stop it. Your vulnerability may inspire other Tauruses to stop cheating too. Subscribe to the channel because stopping cheating is just the beginning. You'll need guidance on how to rebuild an authentic life, how to deal with the guilt that may arise, and how to stick to your new resolution when people try to convince you to return to your old self. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any content that can support you in this transformation. The shocking truth behind the hidden betrayal has been revealed. The betrayer has been identified. Now you have a choice: remain a victim of yourself or become your own hero. I know which choice you will make because I feel the strength of your Taurus soul awakening as you read these words. This force that has been betrayed for so long is finally ready to take control of your life. And when it does, nothing and no one will be able to stop you from living the extraordinary life that has always been yours by right.